Welcome to those of you joining us on our Transfer Live CU Denver day. Thank you for joining us today. We are just waiting for a couple more folks to join us online, but we thank you for joining us. We're excited to get to connect with you and answer some questions. Okay, wonderful. It is 3:01. We are going to go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Maroney, and I serve as the Executive Director for Transfer Initiatives here at CU Denver. So I get the honor and privilege to work with you, our incoming, prospective, or even just current transfer students. I have a couple of folks here with me today who are experts on the transfer experience here at CU Denver and can answer any questions that we have. So we're going to have Carly introduce herself and then Paul.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Carly Pruitt. I am an admissions counselor for undergraduate admissions. I work mainly with transfer students. So if you ever have any questions about the application or admissions process or need help getting connected on campus, feel free to reach out to myself for admissions. So yeah, thanks again for joining us. And then we have Paul on as well.
Hello everyone, I'm Paul and I'm a student ambassador here at CU Denver. I was actually a transfer student myself, so I kind of know that process. And if any of y'all are transfer students too, just let me know because I kind of give you that student perspective on the transfer process. And yeah, glad to meet all of y'all.
So you may have noticed this is a live session, so feel free to ask us questions. Carly will be moderating the questions that come through and be asking them, but as a panel, we will be answering them for you. So whatever you have, ask away, we're ready for it. Just so you know, people can be joining throughout the session. So if you join on and you're not sure if your question has been asked yet, go ahead and ask it. We can always re-answer. We can always ensure that you get that answer. Additionally, if you come on towards the end, we will be having this hosted across all of our media platforms for CU Denver, so no worries. If you feel like you missed anything, you'll be able to access this after our live session today. So without further ado, Carly is going to start looking at our Instagram live chats as well. And while we wait for the first chat to come in, so feel free to interrupt me at any point, Carly, with that, we're just going to talk about a couple things. One big question on the table has been, what are we doing in regards to bringing transfers to campus or not this coming fall? So we do have a safe return plan for an institution that encompasses our transfer student experience. And so you can view that online. It's really simple. And maybe we can have someone post this in the bottom of the chat as well, but it is just safe return here at CU Denver. So you can Google that. It'll take you straight to it and talks about our fall 2020 plan. We have different methods of supporting you in your educational journey with us, which can include taking either hybrid courses, meaning that you take courses some in person and some online, or doing fully online, which means that the course will happen at the exact time that you would have taken it on campus, but you'll be in an online format, or taking it as a remote course, meaning that that course will be offered, you take it, your coursework, and learn throughout the day, throughout the week, and that there's no set time for that, just set expectations, agenda, and conversations. So any questions about that we can answer. Carly, do we have any questions?
Yes. So one question that came in is, when is the payment deadline, assuming for the fall semester?
The payment deadline, that is actually a great question. So you do not owe anything just yet. So in about a week after the classes start in the fall, so we start August 17th, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Carly, August 17th, so many dates. The week after, you will be seeing in your student portal. So right now, if you go into your student portal, you'll see a to-do list. And in that to-do list, it also has things like when your bill is due, how to pay your bill. If you have yet to accept financial aid and scholarships, you can go in there as well and look at either accepting it or requesting more, whatever that is. But payments are not due until the second week of the semester. And you can access that information. Feel free if you want to contact our financial aid and scholarships around that as well.
Let's see. I'm not seeing anything quite yet. So if you're just joining, know that this is live. So if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat. We will be moderating those. So if you need anything answered, feel free to ask that. I will just go ahead and mention a quick blurb about. So we understand right now, let's say you are applying to CU Denver and you're having some difficulty getting your official transcripts. We are aware that that may be a barrier that exists for you currently. So we are accepting unofficial transcripts for an admissions decision and for your transfer credit evaluation. So know that you have that option if you're running into any difficulty. And if you have any questions on where to send those, or any questions just around what that looks like for you, if you are admitted with unofficial documents, feel free to reach out to admissions and we can help you out with those type of things.
We can keep chatting as we wait for more questions. One thing I'd also like to mention for our incoming transfer students this fall, we do have programming for transfer students. So maybe you're curious about how to become engaged on campus, what it means in more of a virtual context. And so just know that we have a lot of services and resources available to you as a transfer student. That includes our prep week and welcome week activities, which will start on August 10th and 11th through that following 2 weeks. We have a first generation banquet on August 11th that will be virtual from 5 to 7 p.m. We also have Connect to Campus happening virtually in 2 formats. So that is on August 13th, which is a Thursday. The first happening from 10 to noon. The second portion happening from 2 until 4:10. Following that evening, a play fair event. So a get to know you event with first-time first years coming in, as well as transfer students coming in, an ability to get to know each other, to get to know CU Denver more. It happens at 7 p.m. that night virtually. All this information will be coming to you as well via email. We will also be having welcomes from the schools and colleges for our convocation experience this year. So that's really exciting with our new chancellor, Dr. Michelle Marks. So the schools and colleges, their deans, their associate deans, faculty will be welcoming each of you into the school that you or college that you're headed into. And so information about that will be coming in the next couple weeks, but that will be happening between August 10th and the start of classes for those welcomes. Student life, a lot of ways to get involved as a transfer, be it their student leadership experience, SGA, Student Government Association. Have a note to us. Also looking at My Links online, you can do engagement through My Links and say, hey, I'm really interested in this. Can I find other peers that are also interested in that as well?
Wonderful. And another question came through. When can I apply for spring, summer, or fall 2021? So great question. So if you are interested in applying for spring, summer, or fall 2021, those applications will open up August 1st, and you can apply online through our admissions website. So yeah, August 1st is when you can apply. I do believe there was another question. How can I see how my credits will transfer to CU Denver? So again, really great questions. If you are coming from a Colorado community college, if you have credits from a Colorado community college, we do have transfer guides on our transfer admissions webpage. So you can utilize those. Those are going to be helpful in a few ways. So one, you can see how your credits will transfer into a specific major, but you can select, so there will be a transfer guide for each major at CU Denver. You will see a program overview, degree and graduation requirements, but also contact information. So if you're wanting to ask questions that are really specific to that major, then you can contact that school or college, and sometimes there will be specific academic advisors that are listed on those as well. So transfer guides are good for Colorado community college students. And then we also have Transferology. So if you've never heard of Transferology, it's a free tool that exists to really just allow students to enter in credits that they've taken, whatever institution that you've taken them at. It will allow you to see how they might transfer into CU Denver. You can also apply those transfer credits to specific programs and receive an unofficial degree audit. So those two tools exist. And then always, if you have questions outside of those, an academic advisor would be a really good connection to make as well within your major.
And Carly, I'll add to that. If you have applied and you're waiting to see your degree audit, just so you know, either pre-application or now just waiting for it, your degree audit that will come with your admissions decision also will be able to identify for you the exact courses that you take and applicability to CU Denver. So applicability either to the 120 credit hours required for graduation and or the applicability to your major of choice. So just so you know, there's many methods to see where your courses are coming in, how they're applying, what that means for you. And as Carly just pointed out, which I'm really excited she did, we do have pre-transfer advising as well. And so all of our schools and colleges offer pre-transfer advising at any point for a student who just wants to talk through what this looks like and what the remaining time would look like here at CU Denver based on how you individually come in. that's something we're really happy to offer.
Yes, and another question coming in the chat: how are professors providing an enriching experience for online classes? And Paul, I know you kind of may have had to switch to some online classes this past semester. So do you have any advice or guidance on what that looks like and how instructors are working around that and helping out?
Yeah, so a lot of, or I guess all of my classes switched online, of course. But when it did switch online, all of the professors I had provided us Zoom links for us to go and visit them, whether it was office hours or actual lecture sessions they held, and different review sessions they would hold too. I know some professors will do set times of like when you're going to have your lecture and when you're going to actually meet with different students from your class, whether it's online or just virtually through Zoom. They also do a lot of discussions as well on our on Canvas. So Canvas is where you go and get your schoolwork done and to go and just see different updates from your professors. So they'll go and hold a lot of in-class discussions on there where you will just go and interact with different students and post different stuff about the topics that they're posting on there. So yeah, it's really cool. They're very adaptive, our professors here at the school, in my opinion, and they are very welcoming to help you.
And I will add it, I feel like I'm adding into every single one, but I'll add into that. Our faculty have also undergone trainings and had many, many meetings planning for and responding to, and now proactively being prepared for our summer and our fall semesters. And so just know that all of our formats, if it is a hybrid teaching environment, the professor also has a backup option that's fully online and has been very intentional through trainings, through webinars, module training, to be able to ensure from the feedback of students this past spring and their experiences, they've really been open to, and we have an entire task force at our institution focused on ensuring the accountability for our students with our teaching instruction, as well as the feedback loop available to our faculty to ensure that they themselves are getting the best experience and supported in that, as well as providing our students the best experience possible.
Awesome. And another question, why should I transfer to CU Denver? So Paul, as a transfer student, what are some benefits that you had being at CU Denver, or some things that you really love about campus?
Well, personally, the reason why I chose to go to CU Denver was because of its location. And that location is in the heart of downtown. So when I think of downtown Denver, I think of like our economic hub where there's so much different opportunities to go and take. And so being downtown at CU Denver, you have so many different opportunities to find internships or different jobs. And personally, I just love how we are able to go downtown and just meet different people down there. I know we have an office, our experiential learning center, where they can help you out with internships, and you can get linked up with internships on there. And yeah, just overall the internship opportunities and job opportunities that are offered by our university is a big reason why I chose to go to CU Denver.
Here you go again. I will also say that transfers comprise 50% of our undergraduate population. So transfer with us is not something that is an experience that we are not ready and prepared to support. As well as we love our transfers. We love our students. I know many institutions say that, but at CU Denver, we take a lot of pride in the students that have chosen us to continue their journeys with. And I may be biased. Carly, I don't know if you agree, and Paul, but I think we're pretty great. And I think we have great staff, faculty, and students who really come together to improve not only our community, but also our world together. And so it is a place to grow. It is a place to learn. I'm excited to work here, and if I want to put 40 plus hours a week here, I think that's saying something. So it's a great place.
And Paul, you're going to get put in the seat again, but there's a question, Paul, where did you transfer from? Are you happy with your decision? And then if you have any tips for students who might be transferring in the fall to CU Denver.
Hey, sweet. So to answer that first question, I transferred from the University of Colorado Springs, so UCCS down in the Springs. I love my choice of choosing CU Denver and going to this university instead because of just how many opportunities are opened up to me and just how easy it was to just transfer over to our university. It's a pretty painless and easy process, in my opinion. Our application process is super simple. It's really easy. What was the other question again? Sorry.
And then I think if you had any tips for transferring.
Okay, so a big tip of mine is to just check on your emails from the university when you're transferring and submitting that application, because we do send a lot of important emails out to the students who are trying to transfer about different events like Emily mentioned, or if you're accepted, or what further steps you need to take in order to go and get your application processed by us. Because those emails are super important and they're pretty easy to miss sometimes. So you want to be super attentive of your emails. And just overall, another tip I would say is try to get involved on our campus, because when I first came to the school, I didn't really know a lot of people, honestly. So when I got involved with club sports and when I got involved with the different events on campus, I made a lot of friends and met a lot of new people that I wouldn't have otherwise. So I'd say get involved on campus, 100%.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Okay, and so one question, I recently applied as a transfer and I'm wondering if we can register for classes yet. I'm registered for the fall. So if you have applied and you've submitted your application and you have submitted all the required transcripts that you need for an admissions decision, if you're still in limbo on that decision, then the first step will be seeing if you're admitted. If you are admitted, then you would want to reply to your offer of admission and accept your offer of admission, and then you would want to sign up for a transfer orientation. That orientation session is going to be your first opportunity to connect with your academic advisor, register for classes, learn what that process looks at CU Denver. If you're unsure of where you're at within that process, so maybe if you're unsure of where your application is sitting, or if you just need help with any of those next steps, feel free to reach out to admissions through email. We can check that out for you. All right, and then how does CU Denver help support transfer students?
Absolutely. So I'll do the kind of staff version of this, and Paul, if you wanted to take it from the student perspective. But from my work and from the work that I get to do with my colleagues, such as Carly and areas all across campus, the support of transfer students is very intricate and intentional to the work that we do. This is kind of a high level thing, but one of our strategic priorities as an institution is transfer student success. And so that can be anywhere from in the classroom to ensuring that, as Paul just mentioned, that the manner in which to come to our institution to transfer classes in and to continue journeys with us is as seamless as possible, that we're as transparent as possible in that. Additionally, through the agreements that we have both at the state level and with our community college partners and some out of state and other four-year partners here in Colorado, to build support programs for you through different agreements. So for example, with our community college system, we have a guaranteed admissions agreement stating that if you finish an associate's degree within one of the community colleges here in Colorado, you're guaranteed admissions with us here at CU Denver. We celebrate that accomplishment and achievement with you. All the way to I meet with faculty to say, how are we seeing students who are coming over? Do we see curriculum gaps happening? How do we work so that the student doesn't have to self-advocate for that, but that we're ahead working with the student to ensure that they don't feel any gap in coursework that's being taken between two different levels, let's say in physics. Additionally, the programs, some of which I just mentioned before, but our prep week, our welcome week programming intentional. We have transfer student workshops, which happen the first 6 weeks of the semester. So starting on August, I have the date here, I had to write it down, August 20th through September 24th. On Thursdays from 3 to 4 in a virtual format covering careers, internship, study skills and strategies and the resources for that, getting involved on campus, you name it, we're doing it. We also have intentional meet and greets with deans and with faculty to be able to have intentional conversations about how do we improve. But most importantly, we support the transfer student by providing you opportunities and avenues to be transparent with us and to say what is going well, what's not going well. So my door is always open. Right now it's my email. My email is always open. I want to hear how it's going so that I can improve that process. And Paul, I'm going to let you talk to the student experience on that.
Okay, sweet. So based on my experience, the transfer support has been amazing. They offer certain scholarships for transfer students to support you financially, which is really nice because I got one of those that I had no clue I could get, but they immediately gave it to me and it was really nice to see. Another thing they do is the events. They want you to get involved on campus so that you just don't feel like that odd one out and that you can go and meet new people. So I highly recommend you attend all events that are offered to you, and to go and just try to talk to everyone, because our campus and our community is super, super nice. Everyone's really nice. Everyone wants to get to know you and wants to go and just meet new people like yourself. So it's a really cool thing that we do. Another support we do is that we just offer like different tours and different prezzies to meet our campus, I guess. We offer a virtual Prezi right now. We have virtual transfer Thursdays where you can attend, where you can meet with a counselor and just see our school from a virtual perspective. If we are on campus, we do have tours available, but at the moment that's not something that's going on, but we do have virtual tours going on. So you can actually explore our campus virtually before you come to our campus. So that kind of gives you a perspective of where you're going and where your classes will be. Personally, as a transfer student, I attended a tour, and that really helped me adjust to our school right away. So that's a really big support thing they offer. Also, they'll go and give us little pamphlets about being a transfer student. Instead of the pamphlets of being an undergrad, like new student coming straight out of high school, though, they have a specific pamphlet just for transfer students that tells you, hey, this is the steps you need to take to go and do X, Y, and Z.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much, Paul. Okay, so are transfer students allowed to attend FYE events, and will they be on campus?
Absolutely. So transfer students are invited to attend. FYE stands for first year experience. Here at CU Denver, we have an office for first year experience, and we work with faculty and get to host and sponsor courses for students. And so transfer students, you are welcome to both enroll in those and attend events in those. I will say on the side that if you're trying to enroll in a course that says that's for first year students only, we can get you access into that. You just need to email fye@ucdenver.edu and ask for permissions to enroll in that course. All events are open. Our Wake Up Wednesdays are open with FYE. There was a second part to that question, Carly. Did I miss it?
And if they will be on campus?
If they'll be on campus, right now they are being hosted as hybrid. So the plan for right now is that some of the courses that are offered will be offered parts in person, parts online in our hybrid model that we're offering. We do have a couple that are just fully online. And if you see a hybrid course and you're interested in taking that as online due to any circumstance that might keep you out of the classroom environment, you can work with that faculty member to ensure that you can have that experience with us as well.
Wonderful. And then are there any transfer specific classes, clubs, online groups, etc., that I can connect with fellow transfer students?
Paul, are you in any? Because I can speak to some.
I'm not actually in any at the moment.
No worries. No worries. Paul's like, I will be. So we have a transfer student organization actually here on campus. And that transfer student organization is student led. It has an advisor, but they host. When we were on campus, they hosted monthly events. And now that we are off campus, they'll be hosting online virtual events for transfer students to come together. They oftentimes have speakers come in on subjects. They have just meet and greets, panelists, you name it. They're really creative. Our students are really, really awesome and creative. Additionally, we have transfer pals, peer advocate leaders, our peer academic leaders, I'm so sorry. And those peer academic leaders are the ones that have been transfers themselves. They help to teach a lot of our FYE courses as a co-teacher with faculty. They are hosting programs monthly. So pretty much there are many ways. We have a transfer spot in SGA, so Student Government Association has a transfer seat to speak to and advocate for the transfer student population on campus. But then we really encourage our transfer students just to get involved. You go, being 50% transfer here at CU Denver, you go into a club, an organization, an online format, you're going to more than likely meet and engage with another transfer student. And that being said, we have many walks of life with us here at CU Denver, from adult learners to those that are working full-time caregivers, students that took concurrent enrollment and came in, maybe are dually enrolled right now. So whatever that experience is, and if you identified as transfer, you will find another transfer. If you identify in a certain way, you will find someone who can relate and support you in that experience here at CU Denver. So They will be mostly online to that part of the question. And we know that that can be a little confusing and tricky. And so we're doing our best to support what that looks like and how that is delivered. But at the same time, a couple of events based on just codes we have to abide by at current will get permissions to be on campus or meet in another location, but there is a proposal process for that that has to go through our area campus. And so a lot of student orgs and a lot of our events at current are virtual in order to be able to support and promote the continued enrichment of being able to be involved on campus.
Okay, and then another question, can you be accepted if you can't get transcripts from a certain school? So for an admissions decision, if you have completed 24 or more college credits after high school graduation, you do need to submit a transcript from each individual institution that you earned credit at. If you're having any difficulty getting that official transcript, we understand that that barrier may exist. So we are accepting unofficial transcripts for an admissions decision. So if you can get access to the unofficial transcript for that college that you may be having issues getting a transcript for, then we could use that for your admissions decision and also your transfer credit evaluation. But again, reach out to admissions at ucdenver.edu if you have any questions. If you need us to kind of look into your account specifically, we can do that, okay? All right. Let's see. And then, do you have specific housing for transfer students? Was another question in the chat.
Sure, great question. As of right now, we do not actually have specific housing for transfer students. I will say that an exciting thing happening at CU Denver is we are building a first year hall for students, and so that will allow a lot of space for a first year experience, as well as our current Links Crossing, which is an apartment suite style living experience here at CU Denver. But as far as having a transfer specific learning living community or a transfer specific floor or hall in general, we don't have that at current, but that is something that we are actually aspiring to do. With that said, a lot of our transfers, we have a pretty even split around those that live within the area or live on campus who are transfers, as well as those that commute from their homes. And so in the future, stay tuned. There will be more information regarding potentially even a transfer learning living community. Just a little drop there. Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah.
Paul, I don't know. Paul, do you live on campus at current?
I actually live at home, so I commute to campus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I would also love to connect you with offcampushousing.ucdenver.edu. So if you're interested in living off campus, they will kind of help you figure out those options that are close to campus, but also they can kind of help with roommate matching. So that exists even in the off-campus space. So definitely check that out. Let's see. So what transcripts/documents do I need to submit as a transfer student in order to receive an admissions decision? So if you have completed after high school graduation 24 or more credits, you would just want to submit transcripts from any institution that you've attended. So you can submit those transcripts. Your admissions decision will be based off of your cumulative transfer GPA. If you maybe haven't quite hit that 24-hour mark and you did some while you're in high school, some after you graduated high school, then you would want to submit your high school transcript as well as any transcripts that include college credit that you've earned as well for an admissions decision. All right. And then another question, is there anything going on for Prep Week, aka Welcome Week, this August for transfer students specifically?
Yes, there is, absolutely. So in Prep Week, so on August 10th, and I have my cheat sheet here so I don't lead you astray, and I already did. August 11th is our first Gen Banquet for students and families. It's from 5 to 7 and will be held virtually. Transfers are invited to that. And our Connect to Campus, which has transfer students, international students, first year students, we have two formats to that, a morning format held online from 10 to noon, as well as a afternoon session from 2 to 4 to 10. And that will be on August 13th, Thursday. That evening, however, will be what's called Playfair. And that is a social get to know you event for all students incoming to CU Denver. So international transfer, first year, continuing, you name it, are invited to partake in that. That will be from 7 to 8:30. Then starting in Welcome Week, usually we host a convocation. So the times have called for a new and improved way of doing convocation that's usually hosted in one day with welcome receptions from schools and colleges. So starting on August 10th through the start of classes, schools and colleges will be hosting virtual welcome formats with both of our provost, our chancellor, and then the leadership of that school and college for, again, students, families, every walk of life coming in, being able to be greeted, ask questions, have dialogue. And so that will be offered for Prep Week through Welcome Week. And then I'll just plug again, our transfer student workshops will be starting that Thursday, August 20th. Of classes that will be starting for the next 6 weeks after that are hosted online formats of just tips to be successful here at CU Denver as a transfer student. It will include time to get to know everyone who's on that, but also be recorded for anyone who can't attend that as a live session. And Carly, do we have any more coming through? I think we have time for 1 or 2 more questions, and I'll let Paul answer to anything he thinks is really, really key about the Prep Week, Welcome Week time.
Yeah, and Emily, I'm not sure how much we might be able to speak to this outside of international admissions, but how does transferring as a foreign student work? So I know you would want to contact international admissions and work closely with them. They'll be in the know of any additional requirements that you might need for your application. Emily, I don't know if you have any additional information or support services that exist.
Absolutely, yeah. So you hit it on the mark, Carly. Definitely you want to go through international admissions for that. They'll be able to walk you through the specific tests that will be needed, the as far as GPA, not different, but you will need to submit your transcripts, and you will need to, if necessary, if a course is not in our records here at CU Denver, you will be required to provide a syllabi from the class that you were in. We do have people on hand to help you walk through how to translate that if necessary, so to translate it for readability here at CU Denver, but we have a great office to support you in that. And again, unofficial transcripts are accepted in that process, and we're ready. We have a lot of international transfer students. We have a lot of agreements actually with some schools. So when you contact the international admissions office, go ahead and ask them, like, is my school part of a program that is already written into, for example, our Beijing program? We have a great agreement with them that allows for students to come in rather seamlessly to our institution and just carry on because we have the transfer tables and all that jazz. Any other questions, Carly?
It looks like the last one is, what supports or programs are there for transfers, much like direct admissions from CCD to MSU Denver?
Absolutely. So we have a couple things. First and foremost, a lot of our programs have what is called an articulated agreement. So that means it's an agreement between ourselves and the sending institution, be it a community college or a four-year institution, or as I just said, an international school, that agrees that students coming into us who meet the GPA standards will be accepted into our institution, and the coursework that is documented in that comes over as applicable and directly equivalent to the student's continued major. Additionally, as I mentioned earlier, we have guaranteed admissions with our Colorado Community College system. So any student in that system who takes part in finishing their associate's degree is guaranteed admission to CU Denver upon completion of that. That is exciting, and all your courses, even better, will come over as applicable instantaneously. We have Bridge to Bachelor's Degree. We're part of that program, again, with the community college system. That is for you if you are a current community college student or entering in as a community college student. You are able to sign up for this program and get support services of pre-transfer advising, a one-time scholarship upon transfer to us, articulated courses, supports along the way, a newsletter, one-on-one time with Carly. By being a part of this, you can sign up for that program within the first year of attendance at a community college, and that's a direct guaranteed admission into CU Denver with us. We have some state agreements that, again, support the student. We have a lot of supports for our transfer students that are a lot of words on the back end, but on the front end, guarantee you admission, support you. Our transfer guides really guide our community college system. students into getting into CU Denver, and we update them based on our catalog year every single year so that you're taking the courses that are relevant and applicable to continuing on with us in a very intentional manner. Anything you want to add, Carly, Paul?
Yeah, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. Sometimes that process can be stressful. It can be, a little gray area. So if you need anything, any support, any help with the application admissions, any support while you're here as a transfer student at CU Denver, always reach out. We can get you connected or get any questions you have answered.
Yes, thank you for joining us today. Again, my name is Emily Maroney, Executive Director for Transfer Initiatives. With me today, I'm so blessed to be with Carly Pruitt and Paul Redmond. And so our contact information is on the screen right now. Do not hesitate to contact us directly. Again, if you're just joining us or we threw a lot of information at you today, this live session has been recorded and will be available via our CU Denver media outlets. And so look for us on Facebook, on Line, on Instagram, on things I am forgetting, but other people might pop in and mention. We look forward to seeing you. If you're prospective, we look forward to meeting you. If you're incoming, we're so excited to have you with us. And if you're continuing with us, we are so honored you have chosen to continue your journey here at CU Denver. We wish you the best of days, and thank you so much for joining us today.